So the Battlefield 6 beta just happened, and it was actually really fun. While playing it, I had a great time, and one thing I noticed was how detailed the weapons were, so I figured I would grab a couple that were in the game, grab a few that aren't in the game currently, but might be based on data mining, and go over them in real life with you. Starting off with the classic M4A1. You've seen this 1,000 times, but the one in the game is actually very detailed. Pretty much exactly what I have in my hands here. This is like a Global War on Terror era M4A1. All the details are pretty much spot on, minus the fact that they use a low-profile gas block with a Picatinny rail and a folding front sight. That's probably just made to make it easier to use with optics in the game, but other than that, everything is spot on. All the furniture is the same charging handle, same all that. Even the markings on the gun. Just by looking at the lower end of the game, you can tell it's an FN-made M4A1, which is what this one is. Obviously, for licensing reasons, it doesn't say FN. I think it says like FS or something. I think this shows a great switch in the gaming gun zeitgeist where they're pretty much only changing the names of the guns for licensing reasons and keeping the modeling faithful, which I love because Call of Duty went the other way and that was weird, man. M4A1, spot on. Next up is the NVO228E, which is just a Galil Ace in 762x39. You can tell just by looking at it exactly what it is. Phenomenal job on modeling again. Ours is a little different from the one in the game because it's the SAR, the civilian model with a brace, because this is legally a pistol. Everything else is the same. They got the dust cover that goes down as it's cycling, all correct. Not much to say here. Galil Ace in 762x39, NVO228E. Great job, DICE. Next up is the B36A4, which is an HK G36. This one's a little bit weird to show off because HK doesn't like money, so they don't like importing the guns we actually want to buy. So I've got a couple that are kind of close enough. This is a HK licensed 22 long rifle, G36, which kind of looks the part. And if you want the actual caliber of the gun, the only one you can really get direct from HK is the Slate or the SL8. This is a weird sporterized version for import purposes. It's got the weird thumb hole stock and 10-round mag and non-threaded barrel, but this is as close as you can get without sending off to a third-party company to get it converted into a G36. But if you're all about the looks, there's a 22 one that looks pretty similar. The one in the game has a Picatinny rail on the top instead of this smoothed off stuff. It looks like a more modernized version, but just from the silhouette, you can tell that it is supposed to be a G36. This thing reciprocates while you shoot, which looks really cool in the video game. The only pistol we got to use in the beta was the SIG M18, which is the shorter barreled version of the M17. This is currently the standard issue sidearm for the Air Force and the Marines, so it definitely makes sense why they added it into the game. This one's modeled 100% faithfully. It's got a threaded barrel in the game, which I probably have laying around, but I'm too lazy. One-to-one recreation. You even see where they did the knockoff Sig Sauer logo exactly where they are in the grips. Very, very well modeled, very well made. Great. The only shotgun we got to use in the beta was the M87A1, which is supposed to be a Mossberg 590A1. This is the military version of the civilian popular Mossberg 590. It's got a little more reinforced of a barrel, but very faithful recreation. The one in the game has ghost ring sights. This one does not because we're not that cool, just a bead up front. But you can tell immediately from the tank safety that it's supposed to be the Mossberg. They went pretty funky with the naming. The M87 kind of makes you think that it'll be a Remington 870, but that would have the safety as a crossbolt, and it is very clearly a Tang in the game. Other features, you can tell it is a 590A1. Can't really mess up a pump action shotgun that much. It's very simple in design, very good recreation, and it was actually used in the military, so good addition to the game. The SMGs we have access to, one's an MP7, which I don't have. The other one is an MPX, or SGX is in the game. This is the tiny copperhead version. The one in the game is the standard 4-inch. This is another John Wick gun. Wish I had one of the 4-inch ones to show you because it's perfect down to the logos and the markings. The one in the game has this SIG logo, but it says something else in there for licensing reasons. We sold our last 4-inch MPX this morning, so here's the tiny copperhead. I don't know, maybe it'll be a variant. To absolutely no one's surprise, there will be a MCX Spear in the game, or the XM7. This thing will allegedly be replacing the M4 here sometime soon. We'll see how that pans out. It's going to be in every video game going forward just because it got the contract for it. They already added this in 2042 and it was relatively faithful. I am assuming it will be even more faithful in Battlefield 6 because that's the kind of vibe they're going for. These are chambered in 277 for the ones that are issued to the military, or 6.8 by 51. We'll see in the game, they'll probably do that. They might also do a 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor version, which would be pretty cool to see. Get used to seeing the spear. It's gonna be around for a while. There will be 2 scars added to the game, apparently, based on data mining. All this might be subject to change, by the way. The Scar L is the Scar 16, and then I think they call it a Scar SC or whatever. The little Scar, the baby Scar, the Scar 15P is also going to be in the game. This will probably be in like a submachine gun, carbine, maybe PDW category. We'll see how well they do them. You can't have a game without a Scar, not after Fortnite, so obligatory baby Scar, obligatory big Scar. Thankfully, we have not data mined a Scar H, so no 308 ones, just 5.56 ones of 2 different lengths. We'll see. There will be an MP5 in the game. This is like the submachine gun. If you need an icon for a submachine gun, you use an MP5. I didn't even bother pulling a new one off the wall. Here's one of Will's. That's all done up. No one's surprised. MP5 will be in the game. While I'm here, gotta do that. Another gun that will be allegedly returning from previous Battlefield games is the FNP90. This one here is the PS90, hence the really long barrel to make it legal. On the regular ones, the barrel ends right there. These are extremely cool. They're one of my favorite guns of all time. Magazine goes up here and holds 50 rounds of 5.7 and then gets put in a little whirly slide to get rotated to feed into the gun. Very compact, very fast fire rate, very low recoil. These are pop culturally relevant enough to where you know what this is even if you've never seen a gun before. Apparently it will be in the game. P90. The BNT APC-9 was adopted by a bunch of different military forces recently as a submachine gun for like VIP protection purposes, so it definitely makes sense why an APC is going to Battlefield. One thing is, apparently the one in the Battlefield is going to be an APC-10, so a 10 mil. This one I have is a 9 mil here, but same concept applies. These use a hydraulic buffer system to keep the recoil as low as humanly possible. These shoot incredibly flat and they get very compact if you fold the stock like that, which is why the military chose it probably. This one will also be in the game in the 10 mil version. Expect it to be a bigger and straight mag instead of this Glock mag here. APC 10. We have the UMP, which you've definitely seen as the UMP 45. This is the one we can get here in the US directly from HK, called the USC, which again has the skeletonized sporting stock with the really long non-threaded barrel and all that, and single stack 10 round magazines. You can get these converted to actual UMP 45s. The one in the game will be a UMP 40, so same gun in 40 cal instead of 45. Trying to switch it up so it's not the same guns you see all the time, but the same guns you see all the time. Not much more to say here. I wish I had a real one, but make do with this. The KSG-12 from Keltec is supposedly going to be in the game based on data mining. This is a very cool shotgun. It's a bullpup, so the barrel goes pretty much all the way back here, so your overall length of the gun is pretty short. Another very cool part about it is that, don't worry, I'm not flagging the cameraman. It's got 2 magazine tubes that hold 7 each. You load them independently and then you can cycle between them. You can put one type of shell in one and another type in the other, or just carry 14 plus 1 in a shotgun this small, and it's pretty light too. Uses a lot of polymer. These are very nice, and I hope they don't hold 15 shells in the game, because that would suck. Keltec KSG. Next up, in a similar vein, is the standard manufacturing DP-12. This is a similar concept with the bullpup 12-gauge shotgun design, but this one has, again, not flagging the cameraman, 2 barrels. So 2 tubes, 2 barrels. They just took the KSG design and added an extra barrel to it. So this is a pump-action, double-barreled shotgun. The KSG is the one that John Wick used, but this one does also feel pretty John Wicky. One of the other shotguns they'll be adding to the game is a semi-auto. It's the 1014. This one's also very prolific in video games. Benelli M4, 1014 is just a variant or military designation of it, or one of the others. This one here has the 1014 collapsible stock, and this one here has the normal smooth handguard with no weird optic on it, so I brought both so you can see them. No idea how they will be modeled, but I'm assuming they'll be done well because they're in like every video game ever made. This is the go-to semi-auto shotgun for a good reason. This one here is an actual marked 1014 from Benelli. It's a little weird. Oh. The only bolt-action sniper rifle we have in the game is another one that I can't get to show you. It's the 2010 ESR, which is a Remington deployment package. Very cool, accurized bolt gun. Here's a cool-looking bolt gun to satiate your eyes as I cry about how I don't have a 2010 ESR. I Can't tell you how well they modeled it in the game because I've never seen one in real life, but bolt guns are cool, so excuse me. One really cool addition to the game is the M417A2, which is an HK417A2. This is not 100% it, but it's pretty close. This is the MR762A1, kind of the closest thing we can get here in the US right now as civilians. The one in the game is the 13-inch model, which is really cool. It's select fire, so you can shoot it full. The one I have here is kind of configured as a designated marksman rifle, but the one in the game is categorized as a carbine, it being short barrel and select fire and all. It's kind of overkill if you ask me, but overkill is underrated, and filling someone up with 308 is very effective for taking them down. Modeling is great. I don't have the exact 417A2 to compare it to, but even just comparing it to this one, it's pretty much dead on. Now I'm thinking about how much I want a short-barreled 417, because that's really cool. Another gun that I am not cool enough to show you is the M39 EMR. That is the Mark 14 EBR. I do not have an EBR chassis. I definitely would if I had the money for one, but you've definitely seen them in Modern Warfare 2 and stuff. The Mark 14 EBR is very, very good for pop culture relevance. This here is just a regular old M14 with a weird aftermarket chassis on it from Springfield Armory, but the receiver's the same, so I'm going to show it to you. It's basically an M1 Garand that takes a detachable magazine. Don't flame me, I'm just using layman's terms. Very clearly you can tell what it is in the game. It's the EBR. That chassis is like liquid gold for us gun guys, and I don't have one, but modeling is great. You can tell just by looking at it. I'm pretty much saying that for every gun. Mark 14s are also cool. Sorry, I can't show you an EBR. One gun I was super excited to see on the data mined list is the Q Minifix. This is a super small and super light little bolt gun. The mini means that it's going to be either in 5.56 or 300 blackout. It's the standard like AR length cartridges. This rifle weighs like 3 pounds and some change, so it's extremely, extremely light. For the recon class, I think this will be a really cool gameplay thing where you've got a really high ergonomic, really high movement speed little bolt gun that will probably one-shot to the head. It'll be really cool to see. I can't wait to try it out, and I'm sure they will nail the modeling like they have so far. Question is, will it be in 300 blackout or 5.56? We shall see. I'm guessing 300. And then the pistols that were data mined are pretty standard-ish. Glock 22, which is a full-sized 40 cal Glock. It's basically a Glock 17 and 40 cal. There is an M45A1, which is not what this is, because I am not cool enough to get an M45A1. This is a Springfield operator, which I don't even know if you could say it's similar, but it's similar-ish. It's a modernized 1911 for those really cool guys in the military who never wanted to give it up. They are allegedly some of the greatest things on the planet, but this will be in the game, which makes sense, 1911. This one is a little more interesting for me, because this specific variant of the 5.7 has not been in many video games. This is the 5.7 Mark III, so they blockified it a lot. I'm sure you've seen the regular 5.7 before where it's more rounded around the edges. This one, they changed the aesthetics on. It's also optic compatible now, but this will be in the game. 20 round mags of 5.7, very futuristic space looking gun, very cool. Another choice that is very overrepresented in video games is a big Taurus revolver. For whatever reason, whenever video game devs want to model a revolver, they go off of Taurus designs. I'm guessing is because they like the way that this looks versus traditional barrels. Most video game revolvers you've seen are probably going to be Taurus ones. This one here is a Raging Hunter, which will apparently be in the game. I'm assuming you'll be able to put a scope on it and have it be a little pocket sniper, which will be pretty cool. So that was a lot of the guns in the game and could potentially be in the game. Not all of them. Some of them are not obtainable in the United States, like the weird Russian ones, and some of them we just don't currently have in the store. I can make a follow-up video when we get those ones in, but it'll be a little short one. I'm sure there'll be people in the comments that are upset that I didn't shoot these in this video. I don't own these, the shop does, and once a gun is fired, it's considered a used gun and has to be treated as such, so I don't have the budget to go out and shoot all of these and kind of void the guns. But if there are specific ones that you guys really want to see shot, leave it down in the comments. If you see one that's already commented, upvote it, and if enough people say the same thing, I might be able to convince the boss to take these out. Kind of just cost of doing business and whatnot. A lot of the accessories in the game are also real ones that are modeled very, very faithfully. I didn't know if any of you guys would want to see that, but if you do, also leave that down in the comments. If enough people do, I can make a quick little follow-up video going over all the optics and other attachments and stuff that are in the game. I hope that was semi-entertaining. Thank you very, very much for watching and giving me your time. I truly appreciate it. I hope you'll consider liking or subscribing or whatever you do on here on YouTube. If not, I'll see you on the battlefield. Thank you for watching.